2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Andrew and I here are co-owners of Improv Theater in Dayton. You got one. Two. There it is. You good. You good. We are also information security professionals. That's the day job. The theater doesn't bring any money, surprise. But there is, we came here last year, walked in the back door, and sat down and watched compete last year. Anybody catch Zaylan yesterday or last year? She's a beast, isn't she?
Thanks.
And all we could say, okay, go back to that slide. All we could do within the back, all we could say to each other, that's improv. That's this. That's this, right? There are all these different ways to do aspects of improv that come about. And we just saw them on play for her and for everybody else that gets in that booth. Even if you don't know you're doing improv, you're doing improv. Kevin, you want to say anything about yourself?
So that's what we decided to do when it came to this. And Zayna's going to go into detail about the social engineering aspect of it, what she do and how she does what, when it comes to making the calls, the steps that it takes to be like she is as a social engineer. And we're just going to incorporate that from an improv perspective to show how those things work. This will be an interactive situation. So the whole weekend, y'all just been sitting and listening. This ain't that. You're going to be interacting, everything like that. You're going to be able to move around and stuff and do some improv with us. So this will be a little more interactive and stuff. So.
And I just want to say the interactive part is optional. If you're uncomfortable, you do what you're comfortable with. So, like Brian was saying, I got out of the booth last year and just immediately was accosted by this man being like, "You're doing improv. Do you know what improv is?" And I was like, I have no clue what improv is. So I've spent the last year learning what improv is. After doing social engineering for the first time in the booth, coming in third last year, it's been a journey, not only to move into a social engineering aspect in my job and my work. Last year was my first DEF CON. Didn't really know how this world worked until then. And now, I would have to say having improv and going to a local improv group at the same time that I'm learning this new skill has been just such an eye-opener, and it helped me understand how to do my job from a very base perspective. And I feel like it was what helped me level up as quickly as I did. So improv is definitely social engineering, and we're going to be talking about 7 core mindsets of how those two things relate. We're going to start off very simple, and we're going to work up to a very complex option on the end. But we're going to hold your hand every step of the way, so don't worry, it'll be fine.
When we're done here, you will be experts in both social engineering and improv.
Don't quote us on that.
Also the caveat of these are our views, no one else's views, and we might be wrong. So, Kevin, would you like to start us off with a brief intro to improv?
So real quick, who all in here by show of hand know what improv is? At least know what it is. All right. That's good. That's good. So if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, we those are the improv world. We live by the phrase yes and. And that's the idea that improv is a team situation. It's a team sport, team game. And the idea of yes anding means you are building something together. Right? So you say yes and you add information and that agrees with whatever that person had said before you. It's like if you want to like build like a stack of bricks or whatever, right? One person puts down a stack of brick, a brick, not a stack of brick. One person put down a brick and you say yes and, that means you're adding a brick to that. We build together. The second you say no or anything that causes conflict, you take that brick down. So then it's been 30 minutes of conflict. We've added nothing to whatever we wanted to do, right? So yes and is about that. And yeah, so that's basically how we start with everything, and that's kind of like the beginning of yes and improv. So a lot of the stuff we'll be talking about is the idea of doing something together as a team to build something up.
So you guys have been sitting in here learning all about social engineering for the last 2 days. You know it's pretty much just words. But the matter in which you put those words together is honestly, you're going to learn how relationships matter in the words that you use. So think about how you talk to your boss versus how you talk to your kids. You wouldn't ever flip those two. So improv, working in tandem as a pair or as a team, you learn about the relationship you have with another person and how to correctly use words to leverage that relationship in your favor, whether you want more intimacy, whether you want to give some space and some distance. That's how social engineering and improv work hand in hand.
Like has been said already, this is not a sit and get kind of session. Right? It can be. You are voluntarily welcome to sit in the chair all you want. We also invite you to participate. We're going to do a few exercises. Almost every aspect that we're going to talk about, where the overlap between social engineering and improv is, we're going to have some sort of audience participation. We invite you to think of this as a safe space in DEF CON, which I know is a big asterisk question mark on that one. But don't scan anybody's QR codes and you should be fine. And don't talk to anybody in the STC village. Oh, shoot. So we are going to start with a couple of warm-ups just to kind of build that rapport, right? If you know the person you're sitting next to, good. If you don't know the person sitting next to, we're going to meet each other now, right? So when we can't move these chairs, when we do workshops and that kind of stuff, we have big open spaces. This is a very different thing because of the venue, and all the chairs are connected. So what I'd like you to do is, the first thing, if you'd like to participate, introduce yourself to your neighbor, look them in the eye, shake their hands, fist bump, pat on the back, whatever they're comfortable with, whatever you're comfortable with, and say to each other, I've got your back. This is something that improvisers would say. Literally, it's a cliche, but it actually happens. Because when you go out on an improv stage together, you literally don't know what's going to happen. And you could be stuck up there without a clue of what to say next. If Kevin sees me out there like that, he's going to step off the wall, off the back of the stage, and come out and support me. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. He just knows he's out there to support me. So as to make it a nice place for us to all do this together today, go ahead and do that. Introduce yourself left, right, behind, and forward, and say, I got your back.
Hey, Brian, let's show him. I got your back.
I got your back.
I got your back. I got you. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back.
All the backs. All the backs.
All right, you got their backs enough. You got their backs enough. We're good. Everyone's got everyone's back. Shut up.
Has everybody's back been gotten?
Does anybody need their back gotten? Is there a back that isn't had? Okay. This guy needs his back gotten.
Yeah. All right, so the reason we do that, the idea now that you've all done it, everybody is supported now. No matter who you are, no matter what's going on, you are now supported because everybody has supported everybody and everybody has each other's back. There's nobody out here alone, right? That's the point of that. The next thing we're going to do is something called 5 things. And it's just a way for more support and agreeing and everything. What's going to happen is, for the first example, Brian is going to give me a topic. And I'm going to name 5 things about that topic. Now, after each topic I say, I want the audience to count with me. So if I say one topic, I want the audience to yell 1. Say something else, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we get to 5, I want everybody to say 5. That's awesome. Right? So it's going to start with that. So after I say something, yell 1. I say something else, yell 2, all the way up to 5, and then say 5. That's awesome. Everybody got that? All right, cool. Give me a topic.
Kevin, please list 5 types of candy.
M&M's.
1,
Skittles.
2,
Reese's.
3,
Pop Rocks.
4,
Blow Pops.
5. That was awesome.
Cool. See, it feels good. Now, I want somebody to raise their hand that wants to be one to give their topics off. Who wants to add a topic? Right there. Come stand up and go to that mic, please, sir. Mike, give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause, Mike. You go stand to that mic. Yeah, you can stand to the mic. Now, Brian is going to give you a topic. We want you to list 5 of them and do the same thing. We want to support this guy. So after everything, we want to yell it as loud as we can until we get to 5. Everybody got that?
Yeah. Please give me 5 items of clothing.
Shirts.
1,
Shoes.
2,
Shorts.
3,
Hats.
4,
Gloves.
5. That is awesome. Want to do another one? Do another one? Anybody else?
No?
Show it. There we go, right there. Give me a round of applause. Round of applause. Can you tilt it? That mic tilted that? There you go. All right. Give me 5 movies.
American Psycho.
1,
Emu.
2,
Ratatouille.
3,
Interstellar.
4, 5. That's awesome. So it's just a warm up. Get the smiles on your face. This is all good. It's okay to smile. Life is good. So it's just a warm up. We're going to keep them going on.
All right. We're going to get into those, like we said, 7 aspects of social engineering and improv. There's going to be a little pattern. You'll figure it out. Zay, take it away.
Cool. So, oh, I got the clicker. The most important thing about improv is knowing who you're going to be. You don't have to convey that to the other person right away, but you do have a character, a part that you're going to be taking on. This is also, I think, the most important aspect of social engineering as well. So you can think of an engagement with a target kind of like a road trip. Anytime you travel somewhere you've never been before, you need to have some idea of the terrain you're entering, along with a roadmap to help you get out of sticky situations, yeah? While at first it's very common to overpack in order to be prepared and to feel prepared, over time your packing list will become something that you just keep inside of your head. You'll change out tools that you use for specific circumstances, but your goal will largely remain the same once you distinguish what it means for you and your own individual style when it comes to handling your target in live scenarios. The other aspect is knowing the goal, right? So your role changes, as it should, but when it comes to OSINT, that's the most important precursor to any type of one-on-one engagement with a target, right? You don't really get that in improv. You learn about the person as you're going. So it's a little bit different there. You have to know their role to prepare your own when you're dealing with a target in the booth. So we get 3 weeks of OSINT, right? When you're on a live engagement, you know kind of who you're calling and what to expect. So that's what I mean when I say you're changing out your tools. Like I talked about before, you're not going to talk to your boss the same way you're going to talk to your kid, just like you're not going to talk to an intern the same way you're going to talk to a CEO. You have to be able to make those differentiations on the fly as well. If you call one number and someone else picks up, you have to be able to change and pivot. That's where improv comes into play.
So now what we're going to do now is we're going to give an improv demo of just what it is and what everything Zaylin was talking about. So we're going to kind of show you guys how that is real quick, just a quick like improv scene that me and Brian's going to do to show everybody how that works. Everybody okay with that? Yeah.
Improv is always the challenge of proving to somebody that if you go see an improv show that they really didn't plan that ahead of time, right? And there's always an aspect of getting some sort of input from the audience. Usually that could be a story or it's kind of classically one word. So can I get a one-word suggestion to start this scene off?
DEFCON.
DEFCON.
Perfect.
Should have saw that coming. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, we didn't see that coming. It's improv. Yeah. All right. Oh, hey, boss. I know that I just went to some professional development like back in March, but I would really, really like to go to DEF CON this year.
DEF CON, I think it's something you can very much go to and learn and everything like that. However, you've been late 46 times this year, and I don't know if I can trust you going to DEF CON and learning something.
I get that. What you don't know is I am up all night hacking things and social engineering companies that you've never even heard of.
I'm glad you brought up hacking things. I believe you are hacking things, and I knew something was up when this morning I was giving my morning meeting to everybody, and my search history popped up on the big screen.
Elephants.
They didn't need to know that I liked elephants that much.
Rhinos.
Yeah. I don't know if you did it or not, but I'm just saying it's like you've already kind of confessed that you do the hacking thing, and I couldn't explain that to the employees.
Sure.
About the elephant and stuff.
Everybody likes elephants, It's not something to be ashamed of.
But I'm more into elephant feet. That's my thing. So they didn't need to know that. They didn't need to know I had an elephant foot fetish. That's pretty bad.
Would you like to go to DEF CON with me this year, boss? Because there's a lot of interesting people there.
I'll go. And hang out. And we can hit the local zoo. Just check out the elephants. So that's it, bro. That was made up. I do not have an elephant foot fetish. I just want to throw that out there. Now we know.
Now you know. Yeah. The difference between the actor and the character will come up later in the presentation. So that was real quick. Obviously, it was a little silly thing. But did you notice the roles we played? Right? How did Kevin know that he was my boss? Because I told him. Right? I said, "Hey, boss." Right? It was. How did he know that he was into elephants? I told him, right? So there's this idea of listening and accepting, but also leading. And he said, I was late. Okay, then I couldn't just say, no, I wasn't late. I don't know what you're talking about, right? That's me taking the blocks away. We're building something together. You got to build it together.
So when we talk about that building something together, when Zaylin started talking about her side of things when it comes to being on the call with somebody, like I said, it was like everything that was repeated to each other, we yes-anded it. We built on it. Which means we got to a goal, we got somewhere. The second we start negating and disagreeing, we get nowhere in our situation. So remember that as we move forward through the presentation.
So the second mindset you have to make sure you know is you gotta be nice, you gotta be kind. The person that you're talking to is no different from you, right? They are still a person on the other side of the phone, the email, or the stage, and they're having a day of their own. They exist outside of you and the interaction that you are trying to have. You really don't know what kind of day they're having unless you ask, and you probably should, outside of just the pleasantry of like, oh yeah, how are you? I'm good. You're good? Yeah, okay. Actually listen when they say that, because you'll be able to pick up on things from their voice, or if you're in person, their body language. When you're picking your pretexts, not only should you pick a pretext based in kindness rather than fear just to be kind, you're perpetually going to get better results when you are being nice to someone, right? You get more flies with sugar than with vinegar. The word that we're looking for here, and the word that is key, is empathy. And it's not really something that runs rampant in the tech world, which is another reason we're here. But it's absolutely paramount when you're engaging with someone who has something that you need. You have to know what your ask is worth. You have to know how valuable their time is. You set up the pretext of, I don't have a lot of time, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. You're being conscientious of the fact that they are actually doing their job for real. And you doing your job is kind of negating them doing theirs. So you have to offer something in return. And that can be as simple as listening to them when they actually talk about their day and being invested in who they are as a person for however long you're engaging with them, or telling them that by them helping you, they're going to get some sort of fictitious reward at the end, even though, they're not.
Yeah, so to add to that, what Zayden was talking about with the be kind thing, it's like, when you're calling somebody, and we talked about the whole I got your back, right? The other person on the line does not know this is a game, this is what we're doing, right? So you got to guide them, you're in control, but you need to make them feel like they're the one in control. So and that's about having their back. If they're having a rough day, you're going to listen. You're going to be there for them, right? Because the ultimate goal is to get the information, right? So that's what we're talking about. So an exercise we're going to do to help with that is called a one-word story. And this is going to be something that everybody out here can do. Everybody's going to be able to do. And how we do that is we are going to create a story together, and we're only going to use one word at a time. The idea of that is you're building something together, and everybody's piece is important. Doesn't matter if you saying the word and, the, but, or saying something that is funny, right? The idea is none of this is created without everybody's participation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a one-word story. We're going to give a quick example, and then we're going to have you guys separating 4 or 5s, or if you got your whole row, you guys will be able to do it. Everybody got that? Cool. So we're going to show how to do it real quick. So once
Upon
A
time
there
was
a
boy
that
lived
in
a
house.
period.
this
Boy
Knew
everything.
about
elephants.
Feet.
what's that?
Feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
period. Their
Parents
Eventually
kicked
them.
out.
because.
Weird.
Period. So that's how it is. That was it. So we've already introduced each other. We said hi. We said we got your back. So what we're going to do is maybe get that section, the first row and the row behind it, 5 or 6 people. And then we're just going to go in order and tell a story together. Any story I want to make up, and I always just start with once upon a time and then just go from there. Everybody got that? Yeah. So if you're in the middle right here in this row, probably go half and half. That way it's easy to split up. And in these rows, you're already there together, and just go one at a time, one word for word. Any questions on that? Everybody got that?
Right.
I see thumbs up. All right, cool.
It's going to be loud in here, so don't try to do it 14 people 3 rows away, right? Be close with your neighbors and do it, and we'll stop you in a minute.
Yes. And like I said, don't be afraid to talk to people. Hey, how's you going? This is how we get to know each other and everything like that and enjoy our time here. Huh? 2 more minutes? I'll say 1 more minute. Just yeah. So I don't think mine is on.
Check. Mine's here too. Am I dying too? Did you find him? Oops. Oh, maybe. Oh, the bag. I see the bag. Cool.
Here. Do we just need double A's? Did you find them?
Yeah, it's just double A's.
Okay, well, you found them? Okay, then I'm not worried about it. You want to find more?
Listen, if you want to find more.
But if we needed more, I was just going to go and make it
Don't make it Jason.
well.
All right, good deal. Cool. Yep. All right.
Check.
All right. Can you take me back up?
Check.
Thank you.
Check.
All right, guys.
Hello.
Close it up.
Check.
Close up that story.
He's getting back. Does anybody want to share their story? Anybody have like a real fun thing happen?
Is there anybody out there that wants to share the story they came up with? All right, right there in the purple. Come to the mic. Yeah, so we can hear you. Give him a round of applause. He didn't have to come up here, but he did. Round of applause. Is it? Yeah.
It will be on. John's
There you
on.
go.
There were once 17 warriors who fought in Alaska against an army of monsters that thawed from the ice because of climate change.
Nice.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to share their story?
Oh,
right there?
here.
Okay.
Elephants.
Appreciate it.
That was a topical story.
Hashtag free the elephants, baby.
Welcome. Thank you. Round of applause.
Round of applause.
There once was a child who had a garden with carrots and potatoes. There was a thunderstorm across the travelers. The parents gave the child a gift, and he didn't like it. So instead, he asked to go to a factory where he met a superhero called Barnacle Boy. I don't know this.
That's good. That's good. Good job.
That was great. That was so great.
So, the idea, the debrief for that is 2 things. That story doesn't happen without your contribution. Story doesn't exist without you, right? You all created that story and everything, right? And just how I guarantee that story didn't go the way any of you thought it was going to go, right? Because that's the way it is, right? But it's the idea of that what Zaylin is talking about when you're on the phone with somebody. You don't know what's going to happen. But when you yes and it, you keep going and you find a way through it, and you can get somewhere, right? You can complete the story and keep moving forward. So good job, everybody.
Yep. One more thing to add to that. I'm sure as you were going through in your little group around in a circle and everyone was saying one word, there were times when you were like, I could say this one thing that would completely derail everything that's happening right now. And that's where being kind comes into play. Like, you're working with people. You're not necessarily trying to negate them. You're working with them to make something together, right? So, next mindset is you have to accept their reality as your own for the duration of the amount of time that you are participating with them, right? When you make a phone call, whether you're in the booth or you're doing a live engagement somewhere else, you're coming into their world. You know kind of what it's like based on the OSINT that you've done, but ultimately, they're living in it. You're just visiting, right? So, something that a lot of new social engineers and improvisers seem to forget is that they're interacting with another human being who has like a whole life that they have no idea what it's like. This human is not that different from you, and more often than not, what I see happening that is so detrimental to their performance is the social engineer improviser will just completely detach. Whether it's due to nerves or to burnout, a lot of people fall back onto the coping mechanism of just checking out. instead of digging deeper and finding that piece of connection. When you check out, your scene partner or your target will feel that immediately, and they'll begin to do the same thing because humans mirror other humans, right? You have to think of it as world building. You're a social engineer, you're going to be doing the heavy lifting. They have a world, you're adding to it. Yeah?
All right, so the next thing we're going to do here is something called mirroring. The idea of this is you two are going to be so in tune with each other that it almost seems like you're doing it at the same time, right? So what's going to happen is, for example, me and Brian's going to do it. Brian is going to lead with just his upper body, hands, and eyes or mouth and everything like that, right? I am going to mirror everything he's doing. The only way this works is if Brian moves slow enough for me to kind of sync up with him, because the idea is that we're so in sync, y'all don't know who's leading and who's following.
But you
right?
just told them.
What? No. So the idea of this as well is like when you're on the phone with somebody, it's like y'all got to get something together, right? Like Zayla was saying, if you're not on the same page, they're going to hang up. You're not going to get the information you need. So you need to make sure that they are so in tune with you, everybody's on the same page, almost like y'all been best friends for years, right? So that's the idea. So we're going to give a demonstration, and then we're going to have you guys do it. Everybody cool with that? Cool. All right.
Silence, please. Make it awkward.
All right, cool. That's how it is. All right, cool. So, for you guys to do this, it's just the person next to you. Just find the person next to you. If you haven't met yet, introduce yourselves and be the person, and then you're going to do the same thing. Y'all can choose who wants to follow, who wants to lead. The idea is to move slow so that person can do it with you, and y'all can be on the same page.
A third party shouldn't be able to tell who's in charge.
Yeah.
The key word here is prolonged eye contact.
If y'all want to stand up and do it, y'all can. That's perfectly fine.
Advanced things are like yoga moves with one foot.
You're gonna feel silly. That's good. Feel silly. It's fun.
No, I can do it.
No, we can't.
No, because they didn't say it. I was like, no, we can take pictures. Oh, of ourselves. Of ourselves. That's tough. All right. All right.
Good job. Good job.
There is.
Cool. So the debrief side of that, is if you were the one that was following, and there's a moment where you don't know what they're going to do, right? Because you're following. But then there's a switch that flips and say, I know exactly what they're going to do next, right? And as the leader, you want to make sure that they are following with you, right? You're leading them, right? So if you're on the phone with somebody, they don't know what's going on. Make sure they're following along with you in a way to where they're on the same page. Because the second there's confusion or they don't know, they've disengaged. And now you've lost your target, right? So you want to make sure that when you're on the call with somebody, that you are leading them in a way to where they can follow you. And like you said, almost like hand-holding in that situation.
And that is a very wonderful transition to the next mindset. So in order to lead them, you have to listen to them. And I don't mean that placating listening you do when your mom is talking about her third Facebook friend that she ever made ever and the comments and you just tune that out. You're listening, but you're not listening. The type of listening I'm talking about is leading someone through your words by knowing what they expect from you, right? So this touches back a bit on what we learned about in number 3, staying present with the person and not moving into detachment and disengagement. You have to connect with them in order to understand them, and you have to have an understanding of them in order to lead them. This applies not only to their own personal sense of motivation, but just having a general comprehension of what incentivizes people to do things will help you as well. You have to remember that as a social engineer, you are the only one in the conversation that knows where you need to go. It is up to you to hold their hand and get them there, right? Of course, a lot of that work is, are we having an incident? All right. Focus. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of this work of learning about the individual that you are going to be talking to in the booth or outside of the booth is going to be done in the OSINT phase. But on a live call engagement, you have a gold mine of information you can get if you know how to entice it out of someone. You're never going to be prepared enough to know everything about them. You're going to get thrown curveballs. You're going to call and get transferred or get the person you did not expect, right? When you call someone, you don't have the luxury of seeing their body language, of knowing anything about what their face is doing. So you have to listen to their voice to hear the hesitation, to hear the eagerness, the reluctance, or the defeat. Those are the strings that you follow in order to get to someone's why. And if you make it to someone's why, the thing that intrinsically motivates them, you've practically been given a user manual to their motivations as a whole. But in order to do that, you must actively listen to them and give them the space to respond. People will tell you so much if you give them the time to, if you hold the container and let them fill it. You're gonna be uncomfortable, but eventually you'll realize that that's the opportunity most humans are looking for to make a genuine connection and give you what you want.
Yeah, so we're gonna do another exercise here to add to what Zaylin was saying. Listening is probably one of the most important parts of this, right? And we as humans, we think we be listening, but half the time we're not, right? We're just waiting for you to stop talking so we can say what we gotta say. That's the way it is, right? But the idea of this, the only way this works, the way improv works, and like people think of improv as the comedy aspect, but what we're talking about is the idea of the communicating part of it. Improv is more than just being funny. It's about communicating, thinking, critical thinking, and then active listening. So that's what Zaylin was talking about. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to have another partner, and if it's three of y'all that works too or whatever, what's going to happen is you two are going to have a conversation. Person A is going to say just a sentence to person B, to where it's like, hey, today I woke up and I had some bacon and eggs. Person B is going to repeat everything person A said verbatim, and then respond. What that does two things. That lets person A know that you heard them, you gave them your undivided attention and heard everything they said, and then that gives you the opportunity to take in what they say and then respond accordingly, which is very important when you're on the call with somebody trying to get information from them. It's good to hear and understand what they're talking about. Everybody got that? You want to give an example? You think they got it? Y'all got it? Y'all think y'all good? Okay, cool. So like I said, just get a partner. I want you to say one sentence. The other person repeats everything that person said and then responds. And y'all just going to be doing that until y'all have a conversation. Go ahead.
Let me give you a tip. Be kind. Keep the sentences short.
Yeah. don't give a paragraph. Please
like two clauses at most, right?
Yeah,
maybe a prepositional phrase. All right, we'll do
one example. All right, cool. This is my third year at DEF CON.
This is my third year at DEF CON. This is my second year at DEF CON, and you got me to come last year.
This is my second year at DEF CON, and you got me to come last year. Yeah, you stayed with me too, and I didn't want it, but it happened.
Yeah, you stayed with me too. I didn't want it, but it happened. Yeah, my boss at my old job was really grateful that you paid for the room.
So y'all get it, right? Everybody got it? All right, cool. So just get a pair and do the same thing. Good job. This is really working. It's really working. It's really working. That's great.
Wrap it up.
And then if I could be All right, if you get to a stopping point.
Hey.
Check.
All right,
Hey, guys,
everybody,
it's time to wrap
get
it
to a
up.
stopping point in your conversation.
Check.
John's stringing us up now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hey, all right, everybody.
Wrap it up.
There you go. We're turning a room full of strangers into very close friends, and then we keep telling them to stop talking to each other. We didn't give you a warning that we've entered the relationship counseling section of the presentation. These tools that work for social engineering work on the improv stage. Secret out, they also work anytime you're talking to humans. Refer back to the first stage that was up, the first slide that was up there. Did anybody get into repeating not just the words, but the body language, maybe arm movements and that kind of stuff too? That kind of thing that shows the empathy, right? That shows the human connection. If you're doing a vision competition, right, or you're calling somebody on the phone, they're not going to hear your arm movements and you can't see their arm movements, but what can they hear? Intonation, inflection.
Somebody said tone too.
Tonality, yeah.
Breath, like a deep sigh.
Ooh, that's great.
Yes.
Speed, right? They're a fast talker. Can you slow them down? Can you meet them in the fast talking? Can you say back to them what kind of energy that they're putting out, so to speak?
And I think the most important part of that is, can you get their energy to match you? That's the next level up. Yes, you can match them, but eventually you're going to get into a speed talking challenge and no one's going to know what anyone else is saying. So you have to have the wherewithal, the ability to hold that container and get them to come down and match you. And that's, at least a level 2 type challenge. But with practice, you do get there. So the next mindset is ultimately interspersing little bits of you and who you actually are to make what you're saying more genuine. So if you don't know what to say and you're floundering, and then those of you who saw me in the booth yesterday probably saw my first call of, man, I'm nervous, and that came out in my call. I genuinely was like nervous as hell because I haven't done this in like a year in front of you people. And I, instead of trying to shove it down and be that person who could hold the container, I let it come out and do what it needed to do so I could move on. And eventually my next call, I was calm. I could hold that container, right? So we as humans are intrinsically social creatures. Yes, I know I'm saying that at a hacker convention, but it's true. We are. What that means is relating to others of our kind is hardwired in. How this works in your favor is through the humanization of yourself, sharing bits and pieces of what is real to you with them in order to get them to relate to you and better empathize with why you need their cooperation. That was hard to follow, I'm sorry. When you share with someone, it opens up the door for them to then share with you. Remember I said you have to be the brave one. When they share with you, you can pick out the bits and pieces of what they did or didn't say in order to make very invaluable inferences. So you're listening between the lines here. For example, Kevin, can you share your entire life story in 1 minute?
I mean, that's a very vulnerable question to ask somebody, but yeah, I can do it.
I believe in you,
I can do it. I can do it.
One.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Check. Here we go. Going.
Okay, now, I was born in West Dayton, Ohio, bad neighborhood, redlining, that whole thing. So I was doing that. I went to school, got older, and started playing football. Got really good at it. Thought I was going to play college football, and I didn't. And then I was like, well, I need to do something in my life. And I was like, well, oh, no, I like video games. So I went to school for computer science. I figured that was the way to go. So I graduated. and I started doing IT, then moved over to cybersecurity, working for the government, doing cyber engineering for C-130J aircrafts. Also, I found the love of hip-hop music and improv, not in the same time, but I did both of them. So I was able to do that, and then I watched the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey. It was amazing. So I was like, oh snap, just saying yes to everything makes your life a whole lot better. And it did for me. So now I'm here, and I wouldn't have met these people if I didn't say yes to life and everything like that. And I like musicals. All right, cool. All right, we got it out.
Well, that was impressive. Brian, what did you learn from Kevin's one life story? And you can only tell me what he didn't say and what you inferred from it.
What I inferred from what he said was that he has had a lot of different interests in his life over the years. He follows interests. He looks for opportunities. He did say the yes part, right? So if I can give him something that fits with an opportunity, that fits one of his hobbies that he already shared with us, I might be able to get him to go along with something, like giving a presentation at DEF CON.
Yes, this is true. What I learned from Kevin is that he is not afraid of change. He is not afraid to uproot his entire life for the promise of something better, which means he's going to be also very open to suggestion. Now.
You all know how to hack Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Does anyone else want to come up to the mic and share their 1 minute life story? No one.
All right, we got a hand back there. Come on up. Somebody give a round of applause.
I don't have any more. Here. It won't restart.
So what's going to happen? Oh, mic right there. Yeah, there you go. So what's going to happen is we're going to time him, and he's going to give his life story in 1 minute. And after that, we're going to ask you, what information can you tell about him by what he did not say? So be listening and be ready for that. Go ahead.
I'll give you 10 seconds when you get down to the 10-second warning.
We'll let you know when you get 10
Our
seconds.
timer isn't working, but we will let you know when you're almost done.
All right.
Okay, from New York.
Bend the mic up.
Good, thanks. I like airplanes. Well, that's a little hard.
Got to be vulnerable.
I work in IT. I came to Vegas because I'm trying to transition into security. Because I find it interesting field. I work as an engineer. I like helicopters and that things. So I'm trying to break into that industry. What else can I say about my life?
You got it. It's all good. You got it.
Where'd you grow up?
We got your back.
I grew up in New York. Huh?
We got your back. You go ahead.
I don't know. Should you ask me some questions and I'll answer?
Education.
I went to university for computer engineering and shortly then came here.
How was life growing up?
It was good. I lived in the outback, so kind of small town sort of deal.
Siblings, parents.
I'm a middle child. I got a younger sister, an older sister, and an older brother. And I'm from New Car. This is much, right?
Yeah.
You can,
That's cool.
You
Good
can
job.
lie, man.
What's your name? Russell?
I'm actually from Australia.
Okay. You say your name is Russell?
Yeah, Russell.
All right.
Does anyone want to come up to the mic and tell us what we learned about Russell based on what he did not say?
You go ahead. Give him a round of applause. Round of applause.
Thank you, Russell.
What I can infer about Russell is that he grew up in the boroughs, big family, had ambition, wanted to go to college to, I guess, explore some of his options of the things that interested him, to get on track on a goal. And then as he went through life and got into the field that he wanted to be in, he looked for ways in which he can transition over to aviation, understanding that there's IT and security work within aviation. I think that's pretty much like what I got.
That was great.
That's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, that all happened in like 2 minutes, right? Like that doesn't take much time to really understand somebody if you can get them to talk. That's great.
One more.
The next question I was going to ask him was what his mother's maiden name was and what street he grew up on.
First pet, everyone. We have time for one more. One more person wants to go.
Right there in the middle. Right there. Anyone, your choice.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Hands for AV and John here. They make it all happen.
All right. So whenever you're ready to start.
Alrighty, so first thing, I actually don't work in cybersecurity or tech or any sort of intelligence. So I grew up in a farm town, rancher country in California. Was a C.D. student throughout high school, didn't think you were very good at anything, but you had YouTube and you had tutorials. And actually, I started doing theater tracks and editing for us in Los Angeles for a film production. And then my friend Victor, who works in cybersecurity, and I came out here to DEF CON to learn more about the space and see my friends from across the country. Let's see, my day-to-day life, I work as a commercial director in short-form commercial production. I work with agencies. It's kind of a soft skills profession, a big, collaborative profession, so a lot of discourse and a lot of time. Anything else in the next 15 seconds, guys?
Mother's maiden name? Don't actually say it. Don't actually say it. Don't say it. But.
How was life growing up?
Boring. You had to find your own time.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who wants to come and psychoanalyze this one?
Psychoanalyze. Infer. She means infer.
Right there. There we go. Give her a round of applause.
I'm sorry, what's your name? Michael. My sense is that Michael grew up quite capable, but not quite fitting into the standard school situation, but actually quite intelligent, quite capable, quite nimble. So he's able to move into a certain kind of field, but also kind of curious, possibly a little dissatisfied, wants to move on, looking for something else. So if you can actually kind of present something that's of interest or he could grab onto, he could actually do quite well. He's intelligent, so he's intellectually curious. So if you can show something that will actually, that he could latch onto, he might actually be quite willing to move.
Good job. Very
Very good. Very good.
So before Zaylin go, just remember, for those who was able to come up here and like be vulnerable and talk and everything like that, notice the people who kind of like analyze the things you didn't say, all the positive things they said about you, right? There's certain moments in life we feel like nobody understands us or anything like that, but even the things we don't say, people can realize how good we are as people and stuff like that. So remember that. Give yourself a round of applause.
All right, so moving back into the concept of teams, right? You guys just did something together. You don't know each other, but you figured it out. You are a team. On stage, in the booth, calling the person that you're calling, it's your job to make sure the other person knows it. Because at first, they don't. It is your job to make it abundantly clear from the very first interaction that you are on their side no matter what. Because making sure that they know that you're on their side is the number one way to get them on your side, to have a shared motivation, right? You have to recognize, once again, that you are coming into their world and adding to it, putting a block on top of one that already exists. It's a precarious balance of accepting their world exactly as it is, while subsequently adding to it with your truths and your needs in a way that makes sense to them without making them suspicious or being off-putting. This can only be accomplished through a give and a take, a conversation, right? They're going to know if you are interrogating them, drilling them, just trying to get something out of them. They will feel it, they will know. You have a very limited amount of time from that first point of interaction to make some sort of genuine connection with them before they dismiss you entirely. Granted, this is always going to be easier in person, whether you're on a physical or doing improv on a stage. You have body language that you can portray and subsequently read. Over the phone, you really only have your OSINT, we even have that, and tonality, which we've already talked about. You have to then relate to them through likes, dislikes, and experiences. Think of it as disarming their defenses. If they think you're like them, they will let you into their club. Once you're in their club, they're less likely to question your motivations and trust you more easily, regardless of any request that you make after that. This is where yes and really, really shine.
So this exercise is one we do all the time in classes. We call it party planning, sometimes trip planning. You can choose what you want to plan. Perhaps you want to plan a hacker convention. I don't know. But the idea is that you do it together. This is putting into play a lot of the things that we've already talked about, hearing someone's excitement about an idea, adding to it, stacking those bricks that Kevin was talking about earlier. You lean into the idea of yes and you are welcome as beginner improv students to actually say the words yes and. We're going to do a demo here. We can all three do it, I guess. We're going to plan a party, and no contradicting, no conflict. Say the yes, right, agrees and confirms what they say, and then the and is we're each going to add something to it. Right? So we'll do that way. We'll show you the other way here in a bit. But yeah. Hey, it's my mom's birthday next week.
Oh, that's awesome. How old is she going to be?
She's going to be 22.
Love that. Love that for her.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Well, she really likes I can't even say elephants. She really likes airplanes. And I was thinking about going to the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio.
We could absolutely do that. We could go to the Air Force Museum, and Kevin, you know that guy there. You could get him to put all the live landings and takeoffs onto that big projector screen in the back. I think she'd really like that.
Yeah, and since I know Jerome, he can actually start up one of the airplanes too, and we can have her fly one.
That is amazing. We have her sister lives in Florida. We could have she could fly herself to Florida in one of those planes.
I think she should probably fly herself alone because her sister would think that was much cooler if she didn't have someone telling her what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they get to Florida, I like the oranges down there, so they can grab me a couple and bring them back.
Just two?
Just two. Only need two of them.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise.
Okay, we can keep going. At no point did we say, no, she doesn't like Florida. No, she doesn't like airplanes, or oranges make her break out in hives. Those all might be true, right? But we didn't say that because we're building the story together. We can do a negative, the opposite demonstration, right? But you can imagine where it goes, right? Okay, we'll do it after. So, 2 people, 3 people, team up, people next to you, people around you, and see what you can go plan. Agree on what you're going to plan first, because it makes it easier. If you know you're going to plan a party or a trip or a hacker conference or something like that.
They literally said no. And be got something with the sister. She said no. But I know, yeah.
It's ain't that a bitch? I'm all right. It's all good.
You can post them. You can post them to just we'll tag it. I'll put up the thing on Twitter and I'll tag it with the SEC or SEC DEFCON.
Hey Zane, we're gonna give him a little bit of time on this, so we stretch it out a little bit. So we're gonna give him a little bit of time. Yeah, I told you it was gonna move fast. I told you it's not gonna last too long. But that gives us the opportunity to maybe do more than just a few cold calls. You know what I'm saying? So And it's like, in my head, I gotta get mentally comfortable with people leaving because I'm like, you motherfuckers. But it's like, but you gotta get comfortable with it. You gotta get comfortable because it's a lot of people staying.
Yeah, they're really.
And for them to be here still is pretty amazing because most talks are 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours out of what's basically a 2-day conference.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's lunch.
The only people who are leaving are the ones in the back. Like we've had like maybe 5 or 6 leave, and the ones who are directly engaged with us. It's just a big space.
Sure. Just to talk about their,
All right. Begin to wrap up your incredible event that is being planned. This is a fun one. We're slowly turning you all into friends. Have you noticed? Yes. All right. Does anyone want to come up and share their story, their
Right here,
party,
right in front.
their event?
Give a round of applause,
Let us know what you planned and then tell us about it.
Your name first. We'll know who you are.
I'm Jen. Jay.
Jen?
Jay.
Oh, Jay.
Jay.
Got me.
We're planning a farewell party for a friend who is leaving on a long business trip, and we're going to rent a party bus and all dressed like clowns, and put the bags in there and take her directly to the airport. And she might not be allowed to drink, but the driver of them will dance on the pole.
That sounds like a real good time. Thank you, Jay. All right, we got 3 more opportunities for you to come and share your party. Yeah, right there. You're standing up. You're ready. Let's do it.
Round of applause. Give us your name and then what your party's about.
My name's Dakota.
All right.
What'd you say after that?
You just tell us what you planned.
So pretty much what we planned was a trip with our friends to go to Hawaii and basically go traveling around, maybe do some things, and then go to the volcano, maybe hop in mud, get some volcano boots. But they're really expensive though, but it's worth the price. You know, jump in and then you collect some like lava samples and then make some like obsidian, make some jewelry out of it.
Yeah.
Cool business.
Yeah.
And then use that as fund something else, like a whole entire like factory.
Yeah.
And then get that set up to make hotels or houses, and then make it better than Vegas.
Yeah. We're going to talk later because I'm very interested in volcano boots. Give a round of applause. All right. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Right there. Yep.
I promise someone over there will get good stuff. Promise.
All right. Hold. You're next, so stay up there, but you go first. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Nick. We planned a retirement party for my father. We decided that we were going to do an insane clown posse and a bunch of juggalos. We were going to take a nationwide tour bus with a endless bar, and we would be eating nothing but raw hot dogs with no condiments. We're taking a bus to an artisanal balloon skull. That's where the party ends.
Yeah. I'm calling you when I retire. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun.
Sounds great.
Round of applause. Check. There you go.
Hi, I'm Drew Cifra, and we're doing a themed dinner party at my house. So what you do is, as soon as you come in, you'll sign a live milling wafer. The theme is things that don't go together well. So everybody brings their own food. We'll provide the booze, whatever substances that provide you after you sign your waiver. Now, outside in the backyard, we will have a variety of events, from projectiles to fiery things. So you've got alcohol, you've got food that you bring yourself, and as soon as you come in the door, sign your waiver, you swap your meal with somebody else. So yeah, things that don't go together. Food, fire, and not your.
Perfect. Good job.
Love it. So we did that entire little game with everyone trying to agree, to get along, to be nice to each other, right? But now let's see what it's like in the alternate timeline, where absolutely no one gets along and everything matters and it's horrible. Guys.
All right. Kevin, We have the anniversary of the Improv Theater coming up in October. I think we should plan some sort of event, some sort of like big show.
No, I think it should be a little smaller, a little more intimate, like a real intimate show.
But I mean, we need something in October to bring in a lot of money, right? So it's got to have something like it could be small, but we got to charge a lot of money, and then I'm worried people won't come. So I think a bigger one with a lower price could be better.
But no, what I'm saying is like if it's small, then you don't have to charge a lot of people. Then they want to be there. It's more of a feeling type of thing. It's too expensive. They're not going to come. But if you make it small, they'll show up that way.
We don't have that many people who care that much about our theater, though, right? So like.
Yeah, that hurt. But that's what's up, right? So it's the idea. So if we would have stayed up there and be like, talk about what our party is for our anniversary, we wouldn't have nothing to tell you, right? Because we spent so much time negating each other, right? It's hard to build that way. Everybody that had a story or planned something, it was a lot more fun when you agreed to it, right? It was a lot more interesting. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, like how Kevin was talking about at the beginning, in order to build something together, each person has to put a block down. All they were doing was putting one down and taking it right back, and putting it down and taking it right back. They got nowhere. And unless you can agree with the person that you're talking to and agree with your scene partner, you're not going to be able to build anything together, which goes really well with our next point. So this is where things get a little bit sticky. The improv to social engineering connector piece pivots from beginner level to hard mode. So you should be the highlight of someone's day, the person you're calling. You should be a fond memory that makes them smile, never to be talked of or thought about again once they clock out, right? The way you do that is by agreeing only, as we just saw. So it seems a little bit counterintuitive to be the highlight of someone's day while simultaneously being forgotten, and that's because it is. You have to precariously balance the burden of their expectations along with the role that they've assigned to you, right? And this piece goes back to the beginning point of knowing exactly what you're after, of knowing your goal and who you're supposed to be. Here we bring it back into play because you cannot forget that all you're doing is playing the most idyllic part that they can expect from someone they don't even know, right? You do this by always agreeing with them. Number 2, agreeing only is where I still struggle immensely. You are inevitably going to come into contact with someone who is sexist, racist, purposefully trying to derail you, not because they're on to you and they're suspicious, but simply because they think it's funny to negate and derail due to a core aspect of their personality. How you handle this, how you get through this, and I'm speaking directly to myself as well here, is by distancing yourself from the role that you're playing in order to do your job. You're not the person that is agreeing with their blatant misogyny. That is your character that you have created for yourself. The hardest part, especially if you have a very direct moral compass, is allowing the person you're playing to agree with the person who is saying these just casual, bigoted remarks. You gotta remember that your job is to relate to them, disarm them, get your information, and then end the call without becoming suspicious. Now, your calls are not a place to get on a soapbox and try to change the world. It won't happen in the 22 minutes you get in the booth. It won't even happen throughout a prolonged phishing engagement with phishing and all of that fun stuff that you spend 2 weeks interacting with the same person. Why won't it happen? Because that is not your job. That is not who you are during that engagement.
So when she talked about being a character, the second they pick up that phone, you are not you, right? You are somebody who is there to get information from them. The second you try to make it about you and make it like this is how I feel about things, it's not going to work well, right? Because you have no idea what they're going to say. You know what the information you need, but you don't know what's going to come on their end. And that's where the improv come in. But the character side is very important because if they say something racist or say something sexist or anything like that, for the sake of the job, with you getting the information that you need to do, you may have to just agree with that. However, you have to know this is the character I chose. This is not who I am, right? Leonardo DiCaprio played a super racist guy in Django, right? No one here thinks Leonardo DiCaprio is a racist person. He was a character. So if we're able to watch TV and movies and understand that they're being different people than who they are in real life, we have to be able to have that same mindset when we make that call to talk to somebody. It's not an easy thing, but it's something we have to be able to do, and that helps you, you know what I'm saying, get the information you need. And just how we want to be forgettable, we want to be forgettable to them, that character we chose, we have to be forgettable too. Once that call is over, we drop whatever that information was when it came to who we were and whatever situation had to say, we have to drop that as well, so we can sleep good at night. You know, so we have to be able to do that, because that's one of the most difficult parts, is being able to separate the real from the fake when it comes to that situation.
So in dropping that character and subsequently being okay with that character you had to play in order to do your job, that can feel a little bit icky, that can feel a little bit uncomfortable. And it can make you want to change things for the better because, well, why wouldn't it? Like I said, you're not going to do it in your time in the booth in 22 minutes. You're not going to do it over the course of a 2-week-long engagement, a 3-week-long engagement, or a 6-week-long engagement. People take more time than that. But if you do want to change the world with what you do, I encourage you to think about the consequences of your access. There are those of us who make the technology and those of us who secure it. The thing you have to keep in mind is we're doing all of this for a group of people that aren't even really represented here. The regular people. The security guards, the accountants, the project managers, those people who we rely on to click our fishes because they don't know any better, they truly don't know any better. Try and have empathy for these people. Chances are they share similar roles and positions with your friends and family outside of tech. They've probably never seen a terminal pop up without feeling intense fear that they have done something that is going to get them fired or ruin their lives forever. The next time you step on the heads of the regular employees at Costco or Petco or Walmart for their access, remember that they're exactly that. Regular employees who don't know any better. They're not stupid, they are ill-informed due to their employer taking the easy way out and scraping by on the bare minimum of security training required to keep their cyber insurance. Remember that the policy is the problem, not the person. This has to change. It has to change moving forward. The chasm between tech and the people who are using the tech is growing bigger by the minute. And eventually, we're not going to be able to bridge it unless we start now. And that starts here. That starts with us, and that starts with you. I believe in us.
All right. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We've been going for a little bit over an hour now, and that's usually when I have to pee. So too much information. When we get back, we're going to do cold calls, but not the cold calls that the village is doing after we're done. These are going to be improvised cold calls, no actual phones, and you're going to be calling one of us. And we're going to be some character. We're going to do, it's only 3 minutes. If you're interested in playing along and applying some of the stuff that we've talked about today, come talk to us in the next 5 minutes. And we'll see you back in your chairs, or just turn your heads back to us in about 5 minutes.
Go pee.
Go pee. Well done.
Appreciate it. You interested? Cool.
How do I sign up for the cold calls?
Great job, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Hey, sir. Great work there.
Thank you.
I was curious. You're into hip hop and improv. Musical improv? Does that ring a bell to you? Or?
Not really. I mean, sometimes, but
Mine's
yeah.
still hot though.
I appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Hey, Pope. Okay, I'm live. All right, welcome back. Hope everyone is relieved and quenched their thirst. We're going to do some cold calls now. You're going to get paired up with one of the main improvisers. Maybe is it just Kevin are we doing?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It's improv.
We'll make it up as we go.
So, I think you are our first sacrificial offering.
The married there? Yeah.
What we need from the crowd is an objective, right? Yeah.
Oh, you want him up here? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
Does anybody have an idea of an objective? It doesn't have to be technical. It just has to be a bit of information that our friend, what's your name? Optic. That our friend Optic is going to entice out of Kevin. Favorite color.
Favorite color.
One more. How many siblings they have. Two good? Yeah,
All right.
We're going to go with two.
Yeah. You need something ready? Can you use your notes? Awesome. I'll move my bag. All right. So Optic's going to call a character who Kevin is. We don't know who that character is yet. And he's going to try and get Kevin to say his favorite color and how many siblings Kevin has. And it won't be Kevin. It'll be somebody. And I'll put 3 minutes on the clock here. All right. Optic ready? Oh. Or you can use your microphone. Yeah.
Check. All right, cool.
We're good. We're good.
Check.
All right, I'm going off stage.
All right.
3 minutes.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? This is Kevin over at Sentinel Security. How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
All right. Hey, I'm just calling in today. We're just doing a little check on your systems to make sure that everything is secure.
On my systems?
Oh yeah, on your making sure that your firewall is working just as it's supposed to. It's one of my last calls for today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I got to be honest. I don't know what a firewall is. I mean, my sprinklers work in my ceiling, but I don't really know what a firewall is.
Oh, it's just a technical know-how of just how your systems are protected over there in your office.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can do that. I can do that.
All right. Okay. Are you by your computer right now?
Yeah, I'm by a computer. It ain't mine, but I don't like the guy that's here, so I can just use his computer.
All right. Do me a favor and can you go to your start menu and go down to the properties and let me know what kind of operation system you were working on?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm in starting properties. You said the operating system?
Yes.
I mean, this is Mike's computer. I'm assuming he's the operating system.
Yeah.
He's the operator on it.
Just do me a favor. What does he have it any kind of customized or anything? Any background screens that's changing the colors?
Well, I mean, he got a picture of a cat. I don't think it's his cat, but it's a picture of a cat on his background.
It's a picture of a cat. Yeah. So is the screen any different type of color than just normal regular white or black?
Oh yeah. It's a little bit of white, in there.
Yes. I'm one of those nerds here. So over at IT, I got mine all customized to be red. What's yours?
Mine's my personal one's blue.
Is blue? Is that your favorite color?
My favorite color?
Yeah.
I ain't never thought about that. I would say they don't pay me a lot, so I would say green's my favorite color.
Hey, I hear that. Green is definitely one of those good colors. But yeah, if you can just go ahead and click on that start menu there. You said it's all white. And then what you do is just right click and just go down to the properties. The computer properties should tell you what the operation system is.
Yeah, I think it says it says it's Windows 11.
Windows 11, all right. And is there an update for that? Is there an update button that's showing you?
Listen, you speaking a different language. I don't know. All right, I don't know about no update.
Look at the right side of the menu and just go ahead and see if it says update now.
Well, it says this system is up to date. Does that make sense?
Right.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a good thing. All right.
All right. Optic.
All right. So we got to see how that went.
That's one objective?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That was super sly, too. Like, you're just waiting for a color to come up.
I like the idea of like, if we talked about a color, like, oh, speaking of colors, what's yours? Your favorite color? So that
Very
was good.
smooth.
Yeah. When you got me, I was like, I gotta give it to you now. I gotta give it to you. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Next competitor, I guess, right?
Yeah. Right there.
Round of applause.
Okay, we need 2 more objectives, random pieces of information.
Social security number.
Those aren't technically random.
Birthday.
Last night's dream. Last night's dream.
Last night's dream.
Routing number.
Hometown. Last night's dream in hometown. Trying not to get Kevin fished while he does this. All right, if you want to jot them down, you can jot them down if you want. You can just Last night's dream, hometown. And your pretext can be anything.
Doesn't have to be that.
Doesn't have to be tech. Although that worked really well for Optic.
Okay.
It's all the clock.
Bling, bling.
Hello?
Well, this is Bill, and I'm calling from Social Engineering Incorporated. Is this the manager?
Yes, this is the manager.
Are you the? Oh, that's great. Are you the day manager, or want to speak with somebody who knows a little something about your systems there?
Yeah, I run the business myself, so I guess I'm the manager, the owner, and the chief financial officer as well.
Oh, that's great. What? That sounds like a dream. Sounds like a real dream. I had a dream last night that I own my own business as well.
Oh, that sounds like a great dream.
Did you dream last night?
I'm sorry. Can you please? Did you ask? Did I dream last night?
You know what? Actually, I've been reading a book on dreams, and it suggested that your dreams have a lot to do with your reality that's coming up in your life. Did you have a dream last night?
Yes. I mean, I did have a dream.
Tell me about it. I promise it'll stay between us.
Sir, I must admit this is quite invasive for a security team to be asking me about what I dreamed.
I apologize. I understand. And let me get back to business here. I hear you have a little accent. Sounds like Houston, Texas, maybe.
I was born in Houston, Texas. Yes. Now hold on. Now you can't ask me about my dream and not hear it.
Oh no.
I would love to tell you about my dream. Now I'm interested in telling you about my dream.
All right, this is great. It's been a long day for me. I appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about your dream last night.
Last night I dreamed that I was on Broadway.
Start spreading the news.
I was starring in Jersey Boys.
Oh, you know what? I can hear it.
It's a great musical.
That's great. I can hear in your voice that you're a singer.
Yes, I am. I try to do what I can, and people say I'm a young Michael Jackson.
You know what? I'd love to hear that. Would really make my day. Give me a couple bars if you don't mind.
Now listen, sir. I must say, as the owner of this business that I run all by myself, I am quite crunched on time. I wish that is there something I can help you with, sir?
Yeah, you got to be starting something. I appreciate that. That's all I needed for today. Actually, I've gotten all the information from you illicitly. Appreciate your time, and I'll call you another time.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk more about dreams, I feel like, so just call me later, and we can definitely talk more about dreams.
Sir, that sounds like a nightmare.
I'm cool.
All right. We forgot a very important ask for the people who are coming up on stage. Are you guys cool with being recorded? Like, if you aren't...
If you ain't, uh-oh.
Yeah. If you ain't, let us know. All right.
You round of applause?
We need 2 objectives.
Routing number.
It's not going to happen. Ice cream. I heard ice cream.
Zodiac.
Zodiac sign.
Ice cream and Zodiac?
Chinese zodiac. Chinese zodiac.
You ain't gonna get an answer out of that one. I don't know what that, I don't know what that is.
We'll see.
All right.
Favorite flavor of ice cream.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
All right, and what was your name? Name? Archie? My name is Archie.
Okay. All right. Time on the clock and dialing.
Hello.
Sit down. Sit down. Stop screaming. Stop. Put the toy down. Put the toy down now. Hello. I'm sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Is there a problem?
There's not a problem. I just got kids, and they don't have any home training.
Yeah. Kids, I tell you, are a problem.
Yes. Can I help you, please?
I have two.
You have two kids? Okay, yeah, I have two as well. One's 4, the other one's 9. But the 4-year-old beats up on the 9-year-old, so
oh my
that's
God.
what I deal with every day.
Yeah, I tell you, I have 4 and I have 2.
Yeah, that's very nice. I remember when my kids were 2, it was terrible.
And the 2, yeah, 2-year-old is such a mess. But 4-year-old is, I always have to, just give my time between 2 and 4. I know, I understand. It is so hard. But glad that you're doing your job. But hey, I'm calling from Ollie's Wound. You are one of the top 10 customers. You always, you are the reason that you're making so much sales. So we were just running a quick survey about how we can improve the ice cream parlor for you guys to make it better.
You said you want to improve the ice cream parlor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm very good at put it down. Put it down now. Sorry, the 9-year-old has a fork and he's headed towards an outlet. Put it down. Go. I'm sorry. You please continue. Please continue.
You know what works really well with the kids?
Yes.
Molly Moons.
What's that?
Molly Moon's ice cream.
Okay, yeah. They do like ice cream a lot. They love ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love ice cream. My favorite is cookies and cream, by the way, but they just like anything with cream and ice. They'll eat it.
Would you like it to be delivered to your home for your kids?
You would deliver it to my house?
Oh, for sure.
I would love that because taking them out is like a whole thing, and I don't know if we can get into it right now, but just taking them to the ice cream parlor, I'm there for at least 3 hours. It's only 36 flavors, but they're asking about flavors that don't even exist. I don't understand. So yeah, but yeah, you can definitely deliver. I would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, so we are running a program where we will deliver the free ice creams on your birthday. So when is your birthday?
Oh, you gonna deliver 3 ice creams on my birthday?
Of course.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My husband ain't got me anything in like 10 years.
Oh my
I
God,
would appreciate
that
it.
sucks.
Yeah. So my birthday is January 4th.
January 4th?
Yes.
Is Aquarius. Oh, cool. I'm Aquarius as well.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know much about those signs, but yeah, I'm glad we're buddies. I greatly appreciate that.
We should go out for the ice cream together.
We should definitely do that, but leave the kids at home because I don't know what's going to happen with the 4-year-old. I think he wants to run the country.
I'm really glad I don't have kids. We have time for one more. Right here. Come on up. We need 2 more objectives. Do the last 2.
Time of last movement.
I like it.
You go with that one? Okay. Kevin says okay.
I like it.
You can write those down if you want. We're not trying to get him fished.
Yeah, I have time of last bowel movement. Good God.
Favorite fruit juice. There we go.
We're gonna go with that.
Some fruit juices have a lot of fiber in them.
Yeah. Don't give it away, Brian.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Okay. All right. Dialing.
Ring, ring. Hello.
Hello, this is this is Bruce Wayne.
Hey, I was calling to talk about your grocery store that you're running right now. I have some just general questions that I need to get done.
Oh yeah, no problem. I bought all the Krogers and turned them into Bruce Wayne grocery stores. So yeah, I'm all over the tri-state area. I'm all over Gotham too. Just stores everywhere. Ask away.
Oh, that's cool. Have you thought of theming any of the rooms inside of the supermarket at all?
Ever thought of what?
Theming the rooms like after Batman at all?
I don't know this Batman person you speak of, but interestingly enough, all the themes is like when you walk into the grocery store, it looks like a gigantic bat cave.
Okay. Have you thought of making the Bat Cave like a bathroom themed one?
You said a bathroom themed one?
Yeah.
I mean, all of the bathrooms, yes, they're also Bat Cave themed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So instead of like a porcelain toilet, you're just sitting on a rock.
Yeah. When's the last time you sat on the rock?
When's the last time I sat on a rock?
No. I'm saying like the rock to do the thing.
Sir, I gotta ask you, who are you?
Well, I'm with the plumbing.
The who?
For the plumbing of the store.
You with the plumbing? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, I tried it out. If I can I be candid with you right now? Can I be candid with you? Can I be open and vulnerable as Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
I'm on the rock right now.
Guys, do you have any beverages with you at this time?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I had you muted, I was grunting. I had you muted. Could you repeat that, please?
Do you have any beverages with you on the toilet?
No, I have a strict no beverage while on the toilet policy. Yes.
What kind of beverages do you guys sell?
Well, I mean, considering it's a grocery store, I want to say all of them.
Are there any of the fruit variety?
Yeah, we got a couple fruits. Pineapple, papaya, dragon fruit. We got all that.
My favorite's banana. What about you?
I'm a strawberry guy. People don't realize it, but I'm a strawberry guy. I like strawberry fruits, man.
That was as eloquent as it possibly could be.
Good job.
Let's have a round of applause for all the people who came up here to do that.
For all the comic book nerds, I apologize for my Bruce Wayne impersonation. So I'm sorry.
That was Bruce Wayne.
See, that's his name.
All right, we have a little bit of time left, just a little, but we want to open the floor for some Q&A and see what you guys thought. If you had fun, let us know. This is the time for that.
Any questions about anything Zaylin has talked about, what we talked about? We can talk about this today. So any questions or anything? All right. Do you want to go up there or are you good?
You can go there, you can just like pretend.
Yeah. Let's go.
What is the most difficult thing you've encountered while social engineering?
The most difficult thing that I've encountered while social engineering, that racist misogynist thing was from experience. That was, like I said, something I still struggle with every day. And?
Yes, so I feel like maybe on something like improv, the stress can maybe make you feel tight and not loose and open. So what do you kind of do to keep yourself relaxed and flexible in conversation?
You go first. You guys.
Totally. There's a definite thing that happens that you get in your head and when you're on the improv stage. Typically, the improv can happen with as few as two people. It can really happen as one person, but then that's called stand-up, right? That's usually they practice that a lot. So improv is two people. We do casts of up to 10 people sometimes, and it's easy to get in your head. Your job is to listen, right, and know what the scene needs, and hop off the wall when you can. And sometimes you just end up watching, right? And you could be up there the entire hour set, and maybe you stepped out once. There are lots of ways to get around that. What works for me is when I realize I'm in my head, I might be in spectator mode, is I try to listen to what might be needed, right? So in improv, if anybody's done long form improv, often you're trying to build relationships and you have to establish things, right? So we call it baseline reality. It's who these people are, where they are, what's going on, why are they talking to each other, that kind of thing. So if they've established, the people on stage have already established who they are, but not where they are, right? It can be kind of, the setting gives you plot points, right? So if I'm on the back or if I'm up front and I don't have that, and I can realize that we don't have a place yet, maybe somebody can come off stage and support me, right? And say, I don't know, come out with a towel over their arm and we're in a restaurant, right? The waiter is giving us water if we're sitting at a table. Somebody can come up and start stocking things at the grocery store, right? And that immediately, without even actually necessarily saying anything, gives us more information to play with. I try to look for opportunities to do that. That's if I'm on the back wall and I don't have a way to get in. And I might notice that my colleagues on my fellow actors on the stage might be struggling a little bit, might be stuck a little bit.
Yeah, another thing to add to that is this applies to improv, but also applies to social engineering. It applies to everything in life. This is how I view it. I can't control what doesn't come out of my mouth, right? So the way I relax is understanding that I am not in control of what anybody else says. I am in control of how I react to it, right? So when it comes to having conversations with people that I don't know or don't talk to or anything like that, I don't know what they're going to say, that relaxes me a little bit because I'm understanding and I'm comfortable with what I'm in control of, but I understand that I am not in control of what they're going to say. Sometimes we always want to control everything, but once we get over that hump and realize that we can't control everything, it's a lot more relaxing and more freeing to what we want to do in life and everything like that. So.
And I just want to add, I know the question wasn't directed to me, but I have had the opportunity to see Brian and Kevin play, and they both take on very specific roles in their improv. Brian is a helper. He is always going to come and give something that is needed. Kevin is really good at playing off of other people. So eventually you do find your piece that makes you fit in with a troupe or fit into the scene in and of itself. I saw your hand next.
Sorry, I have a question. For like the older people that usually like it's easy to get social engineered, like what advice would you give to that?
Oh, that's a good question. For the older, just to repeat it for the room, for older people who may be more easy to social engineer, what advice would we give to them? That's a good one.
You want me to take it?
Go for it.
Yeah. So they're more susceptible because they don't understand the technology. This goes back to my piece about us not having empathy. What?
Get on the mic.
Oh, sorry. This goes back to my piece about us not having empathy for people we don't understand. So instead of chastising, you have to realize that they just don't really know, and talking to them from a place of as dumbed down as you can get without placating and pandering to them, helping them understand the consequences of what they're saying and to just have a little more discretion. They're a very trusting generation in a lot of ways because they've never really had to not. You have to be able to meet them where they're at, not where you are. So being able to go back and think about, if you can, it's very difficult, think about what it's like to have no idea the knowledge you know now and put yourself in their shoes. It's scary to them to think that someone is going to try to get something from me, but instead of letting them stay in that place of fear, meeting them where they're at and telling them this is how you can protect yourself in a way that they can understand, I think is a good place to start. You're welcome.
Social engineering over telephone. I've learned that voice acting is the movement, the way that people like shake your face, like you're not gonna laugh like you're gonna laugh like that helps like with your interaction with
Absolutely. So the question was, does getting into character, even though you're on the phone, actually help you be in character? It absolutely does. So you're not going to be completely numb pretending to laugh. You're going to actually smile when you want someone to hear the smile coming through your voice. You're going to actually sound and feel and bring up the feeling of the last time you felt sympathy for a person when someone's telling you how horrible of a day that they've had because you've had a day just as shitty as they have. You have to be able to pull up those emotions and use them in the moment. It is not easy work. It is the ability to relate to someone because you've been there and you remember what that's like.
Yeah, one thing I saw when I was watching the competition is, to me, and like I said, this is coming from somebody who's very green in it, to me it seems like the easiest thing to do is to just be somebody from the IT department trying to get information, right? And then the people that talk, when they do that, there's no emotion behind them. Hi, I'm such and such for the IT department. I just want to blah, blah, blah. There's nothing there, right? So if you're somebody who knows nothing about technology or just anything about what you got, the information you got to get, which could be a lot of people you call don't know much. That's why you got to have empathy and work with them. It's going to be hard for them to understand you because there's no emotion behind you. And when Zaylin did her thing, the first person she talked to, she was talking about how she was nervous and she had emotion. You've seen her smiling in the booth and everything like that. That person that's on the other call is immediately going to open up. There's emotion there now, right? So now it's like any information you may need, I want to help you. But if you're just going to be on the phone and sound like a robot with no emotion behind it, it's going to be hard to get information out of that, right? Because like you said earlier, we got to understand these people don't know what we know. So we got to be able to meet them halfway when it comes to that.
We gotta wrap up, but I want to go back to a question for you. So if anybody's seen Zaylin compete in the booth, you know she does characters, like from the get-go. Her pretexts are not dude from IT or whatever. The pretext is a character that you have created to bring out the empathy and to connect with the human. Can you say a little bit about the characters that you have created? Maybe, did anybody see her compete yesterday?
So like I said, I started last year, first DEF CON, first time in the booth. I knew pretty much nothing. Terminal screens did scare me. So I didn't want to come out with the confidence that I knew exactly what I was talking about from an IT perspective because I didn't. So this goes back to like being able to intersperse your truth. I knew that when I went in the booth, I was going to be nervous. I didn't know anything. So instead of trying to push it down, I took the opportunity to create a character who didn't know anything and ran with it and picked a person to call that I thought I could entice empathy from. Turns out, didn't get to use it last year, but I held on to it for this year, even though I knew a lot more than I did then. It worked very well. I called someone anticipating getting a man and playing off the fact of that I knew that he had daughters. Instead, I got a woman and was able to, hey girlfriend, my way through about 7.5 minutes of her wanting to help me because she knew what it was like to be nervous. Her name was Brinley White. She's one of my favorite characters, and she comes from a part of me that I let go of a very long time ago. I'm from the South. I went to the big city directly after college to a job that I did not need to have. I don't know how I got it, but I was very, very nervous to go my first day. So the character that I created was not something that I saw on a TV screen. It was not something that I just made up. It was someone that I once was. And I think that's one of the things that makes good characters.
Listen, hold on, really good round of applause. So right now she's being super modest, right? So I'm about to turn it up a little bit. She did something I've never seen. Her character was so good that the person she was on the phone with said, yeah, just call me back if you need more information. Just give me a call back. I'll give you more. I'm like, I've never seen that day in my life. That actually happened. So she did a great job.
Yeah.
We had someone
Don't say the name.
Somebody lost their wallet.
This is real. This is not made.
Yeah, this isn't made. This isn't improv. Somebody lost their wallet. So if you don't have yours, we can confirm it if you come up here and check it out. So.
This is about ethical social engineering.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here, and the people who just came in. Sorry you missed it all. We hope that it's useful. I hope that it gave you more information about social engineering, a little bit more about improv, and a little bit more about connecting with anybody in your life. Thank you very much. I will say one last thing. Several people asked us for the slide deck. I will tweet it out and tag it with the SEC DEF CON. So follow that.